Hi everyone and welcome to part 2 of Hangul Mastery. Now we made part 1 of Hangul Mastery a while ago, and in that video we learned about consonants and vowels in Hangul and how we can combine these consonants and vowels to form syllables made up of a consonant-vowel combination. Now we're going to continue where we left off, and in this video we're going to learn how batchim, the final consonant, is used in Korean. As mentioned in part 1 of Hangul Mastery video, Korean syllables can be made up of a CV combination, a CVC combination, and CVCC combination. In part 1, we learned about a consonant and vowel, a CV combination. Now, to this combination, we can add an additional consonant and form a CVC combination. And this third consonant in the syllable is called batchim. Batchim in Korean literally means support, and when we look at Korean syllable blocks, the final consonant batchim is always positioned beneath the initial CV combination. So the final consonant literally supports the CV combination above. Now, as well as CVC combinations, we can also have what's called a CVCC combination. And in these syllables, the final CC is called 겹받침. 겹받침. 겹받침 is when a batchim is made up of two different consonants. We already have a video on how we read 겹받침, so we'll put a link to that video in the description below. And in this lesson, we'll focus on how we read CVC combinations. Now, there are altogether 19 consonants in Hangul, and of these, only 쌍디귿, 쌍지읒, and 쌍비읍 are not used as batchim. So let's begin with how certain consonants are read in a similar way as batchim. Now, in English, the sound of the final consonant of a syllable or a word is heard slightly. So in the word bag, the final consonant G sound is heard slightly when we say this word. So it's bag, bag. However, in Korean syllables, if the batchim is not followed by another syllable and is the final consonant in a syllable or word, then that batchim is not audible. The sound production of the final consonant stops at the point of release. There are three groups of consonants that are read in a similar way, and they are called unreleased 기역, 디귿, and 비읍 sounds. In Korean, three consonants are regarded as unreleased 기역 sounds when they're used as batchim, and they are 기역, 쌍기역, and 키읔. When these consonants are used as batchim, they are all pronounced as unreleased 기역 sounds. Listen to the following words. 막, 막, 박, 박, 부엌, 부엌. So as you can hear, 기역, 쌍기역, and 키읔 batchim are not audible at the end of the word, as the sound production stops at the point of release. Now the second set of unreleased sounds are unreleased 디귿 sounds, and in Korean, consonants 디귿, 티읕, 지읒, 치읒, 시읒, and 쌍시읒 are regarded as unreleased 디귿 sounds. Now the concept of unreleased 디귿 sound is not as easy to understand, as it seems odd that 시읒, which is similar to the English S sound, would be read like a 디귿 sound. However, that's how these consonants are read as batchim. Listen to the following words where these 6 consonants are used as the final consonant in a word or a syllable. 밭, 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 빛, 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 옷, 옷, 갯, 갯. So in all these syllables, batchim, 디귿, 티읕, 지읒, 치읒, 시읒, and 쌍시읒 are all pronounced as unreleased 디귿 sounds. And these unreleased 디귿 sounds are in a way similar to glottal T sound when the sound of T stops in the throat, such as in the word got, got. The final set of unreleased sounds is the unreleased 비읍 sound, and this happens with 비읍 and 피읍. When these consonants are used as batchim, they're pronounced as unreleased 비읍 sounds. Listen to the following words where 비읍 and 피읍 are used as the final consonant in the word. 밥, 밥, 앞, 앞. So in both of these words, pi읍 and pi읍 batchim are read as unreleased pi읍 sound, which is similar to how the English P would be read as the final consonant in a word. Let's first consider the four nasal consonants, 미음, 니은, 리을, and 이응. Now, 미음, 니은, and 리을 are similar to the English M, N, and L sounds. And the way they're used as batchim is the same as the English sounds. Listen to the following words that use 미음, 니은, 리을 as final consonants in the word. 잠, 잠, 산, 산, 팔, 팔. So in each word, 미음, 니은, and 리을 batchim are pronounced similar to how M, N, and L are used as the final consonant in a word in English. Now, 이응 is a little different. When 이응 is used as the word initial consonant, it doesn't have any sound. However, when it's used as batchim, 이응 is pronounced as an NG sound in English. Here's an example. 공, 공. So as you could hear, 이응 as a batchim is pronounced as an NG sound in English. Lastly, 히읗 is hardly ever used as the final consonant in a word, but there are many words where 히읗 batchim is followed by other sounds. And in these situations, 히읗 can combine with other sounds nearby and be read in different ways. So we'll look at how we read 히읗 in connected speech rather than on its own as batchim. In Korean, batchim can connect with the following syllable in various ways. And one of the most common ways this happens is when a batchim is followed by a syllable that begins with the consonant 이응. So let's first consider how unreleased batchim sounds connect with the syllables that begin with 이응. Now, if the syllable after one of the unreleased sounds is a particle or a suffix, then the actual sound of the batchim carries over. Here are three examples. 밖으로, 밖으로. 빛이, 빛이. 깊어요, 깊어요. In the first example, the noun 밖 is used with the particle 으로. And in this combination, the sound of 쌍기역 carries over to the following syllable. So this is read 밖으로, 밖으로. In the second example, the noun 빛 is used with the particle 이. And in this combination, the sound of 치읓 carries over to the following syllable. So this is read 빛이, 빛이. In the third example, the verb 깊어요 is made of the verb stem 깊 and the suffix 어요. And in this combination, the sound of 피읍 받침 carries over to the following syllable in the suffix. So this is read 깊어요, 깊어요. Here are a few more examples. 부엌에, 부엌에. 찾아요, 찾아요. 앞에, 앞에. So each time the unreleased sound is followed by a particle or a suffix. So the sound of the 받침 carries over to the following syllable. However, if the word after the unreleased sound is a noun or a verb, and the first syllable begins with 이응, then it's actually the unreleased sound that carries over to the following syllable. Here are a few examples. 부엌옆, 부엌옆. 몇 월, 몇 월. 무릎 아파요, 무릎 아파요. In the first example, the noun 부엌 is followed by the noun 옆. And in this situation, it's the unreleased 기역 sound that carries over. So this is read 부엌옆, 부엌옆. In the second example, the noun 몇 is followed by the noun 월. And in this situation, it's the unreleased 디귿 sound that carries over. So this is read 몇 월, 몇 월. Finally, the noun 무릎 is followed by the descriptive verb 아파요. And in this situation, it's the unreleased 비읍 sound that carries over. So this is read 무릎 아파요, 무릎 아파요. So if the word that follows an unreleased sound is a noun or a verb, and that noun or verb begins with consonant iung, then the unreleased sound carries over to the following syllable. Here are 3 more examples. 부어간, 부어간. 빚없어요, 빚없어요. 수빈는, 수빈는. So in each word, it's the unreleased 기역, 디귿 or 피읍 that carries over to the following syllable, as the following word is a noun or a verb. As mentioned before, 히읗 is rarely, if ever, used as batchim at the end of a word. However, in many words, 히읗 batchim can be followed by various syllables. When this happens, if the syllable after 히읗 batchim uses 기역, 디귿, 피읍 or 지읒, then 히읗 combines with these consonants to form aspirated 키읔, 티읒, 피읍 and 치읒 sounds. One thing to note is that in Korean, 히읗 is never followed by a syllable that begins with 피읍. Let's listen to a few examples. 좋게, 좋게. 나타, 나타. 싸치, 싸치. So as you can hear, 히읗 batchim combines with 기역, 디귿 or 치읒 to form aspirated 키읔, 티읒 or 치읒 sounds. However, an important point to note is that we can also form these aspirated sounds when 히읗 comes after these consonants. Here are some examples. 착하다, 착하다. 맏형, 맏형. 마치다, 마치다. 급히, 급히. So in these words, the order of the consonants change, but 기역, 디귿, 지읒, and 피읍 batchim combine with 히읗 in the following syllable to form aspirated 키읔, 티읒, 치읒, and 피읍 sounds. Now, the final aspect with 히읗 batchim is that when it's followed by a syllable that begins with iung, then 히읗 is silent. Listen to the following example. 좋아, 좋아. So as you could hear, the 히읗 batchim is not pronounced at all because of iung in the following syllable. Okay, so that's a fairly detailed overview of the basics on how batchim is read in Korean. Now, of course, there are various ways in which batchim sounds can assimilate with other sounds nearby, but the basics you have learned today should help you to develop your reading skills in Korean. That's it for today, and I look forward to seeing you soon again. Bye-bye.